Is Anderson Cooper a sexist? Well, apparently Kellyanne Conway seems to think so. During an interview with Conway, Cooper had the audacity to roll his eyes at a woman.
Now your White House is saying that what he did was wrong, but previously, as a candidate, Donald Trump was saying it was the right thing.
You're conflating two things that don't belong together. Thanks for the trip down memory lane. I was on your show often last fall saying we were going to win Michigan and how we were going to do it. So that was fun. But here's what happened today. Today, not in a campaign, in the White House, the President of the United States
So that person doesn't exist anymore. Candidate Donald Trump, that's a fictional character we no longer are allowed to refer to. We can now only refer to the Donald Trump who exists today.
Anderson, I'll ignore how unkind that is, and all I'll say is, as President of the United States, he needs confidence in his FBI director, and he doesn't have it.
Oh my God, did you see the way that he treated Kellyanne Conway? Asking her tough questions? That is so sexist, rolling his eyes, so sexist, and so very, very unkind, as she pointed out. Now, so after this happened, Kellyanne Conway goes on Fox and Friends, and she talked about how unfairly she was treated by Anderson Cooper during that whole interview, and even says, yes, that was sexist. Watch.
Well, I want to put a couple things in context. He had me sit through a bunch of tapes showing then candidate Trump commending Jim Comey about Hillary Clinton's emails and, you know, talking about him, etc. And, you know, the fact is that they showed all these clips, and it showed candidate Trump in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I said, hey, thanks for the trip down memory lane, and talked about winning Michigan. And then he rolled his eyes. And let me tell you something. Hillary Clinton is in search of sexism as a lame excuse for why her disastrous candidacy and campaign lost 6 months ago. I face sexism a lot of times when I show up for interviews like that. Could you imagine rolling your eyes, having a male anchor on a network roll eyes at Hillary Clinton, at somebody, a female representative spokeswoman for President Obama or President Bill Clinton? I think not.
You know, maybe it's sexism, or maybe you're saying dumb things. Oh, thanks for that trip down memory lane. By the way, we won Michigan. What does that have to do with anything that Anderson Cooper just asked? Does that have anything to do? No. No, she just brought up this random, hey, by the way, thanks for that memory lane telling us how we won Michigan. Great. Yeah, of course he rolled his eyes, because that was dumb. Look, I don't think being an idiot is really dependent on what sex you are, okay? It is not defined with what's between your legs, okay? If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. Sometimes when you're dumb, you're just dumb. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Now, it's kind of ironic seeing the sexism defense coming from people in the conservative movement, people who are Trump supporters, okay? You guys are part of a party and part of a movement that doesn't think that women should have bodily autonomy. Sexism. Come on, man. Look, for good example, and I'm talking about people who are Trump supporters, people who are aligned politically with you. It's people like Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter is somebody who famously came out and said, I don't think women should have the right to vote because they vote for Democrats. No, you're going to complain about sexism. These are people that denounce all feminism. No, it's the Anderson Cooper, it's the left that's sexist. It's classic projection. No, people like you constantly go after other women. You denounce feminism, then you complain about sexism. It's hilarious. Now look, I do actually believe real sexism exists. It does, absolutely. And look, it shows in a lot of different places. You can point out a lot of different examples where there is actual sexism. Is this sexism? No. And I'm sure Kellyanne Conway does face it every day. Now, one of the reasons is possibly because she works for a sexist Donald Trump. This is a guy that, bragged about grabbing pussies. I mean, look, hey, man, this is actually, what he said. He said, I
moved on her like a bitch.
To a married woman and
grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, for a woman who was married, so he didn't care. That's sexism. Okay, that's being a sexist asshole. So don't have a conversation about sexism. And not only that, the very network that she was complaining about sexism on just saw its CEO, Roger Ailes, the top-rated host, Bill O'Reilly, and the top executive, Bill Shine, all get kicked out, got fired for sexual harassment. The irony here, it burns. Oh, does it burn? Now, there is a couple of things that I do agree with, well, at least one thing I do agree with Kellyanne Conway about, is that Hillary Clinton blaming her loss on sexism? Ridiculous. What is it? Is it sexism, or is it Comey, or was it Bernie Sanders, or was it Jill Stein voters? No, it's a whole lot of different things, and it mostly has to do with how badly she ran that campaign. It was a bad campaign. Relying on the consultants, and we can go over all the different reasons, but it was just a poorly run campaign. Was sexism a part of that? Probably a very small amount. Again, same thing with the Comey letter. That's also a very small, probably insignificant amount. Most of it was you ran a bad campaign, you ran in the establishment, you ran in the status quo, and that's why you didn't win. And I agree that with Kellyanne Conway on one thing, that it wasn't sexism that crashed your campaign. It was a disastrous campaign. Now, to go and accuse Anderson Cooper of being sexist because he just rolled his eyes at something ridiculous you had said, Kellyanne? Come on, dude. No. Let me tell you what's going on. America has been rolling their eyes at you for a very long time, and guess what? It has absolutely nothing with you being a woman. Nothing to do with you being a woman whatsoever. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.